Some say Vincent Vega wasn't killed by a bullet. He was killed by a bathroom break. Every time Vincent Vega steps into a bathroom, all hell breaks loose.
I'm gonna take a shit.
Everybody be cool, this is a robbery!
Take a piss.
Don't fucking die on me, Mia!
But let's get real. Most people say it wasn't the reading breaks that got him killed. It was his sloppy attitude toward guns, carelessness, unprofessionalism, and total recklessness. First, he accidentally blows Marvin's head off.
Kevin, and stop. Oh man, I shot Marvin in the face.
What the fuck you do?
Then later, he walks into the bathroom, leaves his gun out in plain sight, and gets sent to the afterlife. It's kind of funny, but also completely unfair. Because today, I'm going to prove that at least in that final, tragic moment, Vincent may not be the one to blame, that he's not nearly as clueless as everyone thinks, and that his so-called fatal mistake wasn't actually his mistake at all. Since we're on the subject of bathrooms, let's take a quick tour of Vincent Vega's infamous restroom moments. Despite the jokes, he doesn't actually spend that much time there. Just 3 key scenes in the whole movie. In chronological order, the first toilet scene is in the diner, where Jules and Vincent are sipping coffee and talking about spiritual transformation.
Basically, I'm just gonna walk there.
Decided to be a bum.
I'll just be Jules.
Now imagine, what if Vincent didn't go to the bathroom at that moment? What if he'd stayed at the table when the robbery began? Most likely scenario, he pulls his gun and a shootout starts. Vincent and Jules are clearly better shots than those amateur robbers. Couple of bullets, 2 dead bodies.
Normally, both your asses would be dead as fucking fried chicken.
Then again, this is a Tarantino film. If something can go wrong, it probably will. So maybe Vincent shoots the wrong person. Maybe a stray bullet hits a bystander. Or maybe Jules tries to de-escalate and ends up catching a round from his overly enthusiastic partner.
Jules, you give that fucking Nimrod $1,500 and I'll shoot him on general principle.
There's a peaceful option too, where Jules convinces Vincent to let him handle it. But honestly, that seems unlikely. Ironically, Vincent going to the bathroom is the only reason everything went smoothly. The reason nobody died. Had he stayed at the table, he might have been dead right then and there. The second bathroom incident happens at Mia Wallace's place. Like a true gentleman, Vincent offers her his coat, presumably so she doesn't freeze that night. Then, of course, he disappears into the bathroom again.
Take a piss.
And right then, Mia finds a little baggie in his coat pocket. And you know the rest. But honestly, how is that even his fault? Since when is someone's pocket considered public property? It's not like he left it on the coffee table with a sign that said, "Help yourself." He just went to the bathroom. Can you really hold someone responsible for another adult digging through their pockets and using something they don't understand? That's not negligence. That's just the kind of random accident that Pulp Fiction thrives on. And now we reach the third, most tragic, and, in my opinion, most unfair of Vincent's bathroom breaks. The one that gets him killed. Butch's girlfriend forgets his father's watch.
Then I did.
You sure?
No.
And we already know how important that watch is.
This watch I got here.
Passed down through war, hidden in the most awkward places. He cares enough to risk his life and go back for it.
Take your hand. I'll be back before you can say blueberry pie.
Blueberry pie.
Even knowing he's being hunted. Butch sneaks into his apartment, finds a gun on the kitchen counter, hears noise from the bathroom. A door opens, a shot rings out. At first glance, it seems obvious. Vincent screwed up again. He left the gun out, went to the bathroom with a book, and basically signed his own death certificate. But what if that's not what happened? What if this wasn't his mistake? Let's take a closer look at what happens after Vincent's death. Butch wipes the gun, leaves the apartment, drives a short distance, and bumps into Marcellus Wallace at a traffic light. You probably remember what happens next, but here's the important part. Everything we see is shown almost in real time, with very few cuts. That's a crucial detail. I'll explain why in a moment. So, Butch runs into Marcellus. According to a well-known theory, Marcellus being that close to Butch's place isn't a coincidence. It suggests that he had been in the apartment with Vincent earlier. Jules had already quit the business, so maybe Marcellus came along to help out. One of the indirect evidences is 2 cups of coffee. I used to dismiss that theory. It seemed thin, based on nothing but location and beverages. And why would the boss himself tag along for something as trivial as guarding an apartment? And since when does the boss go fetch coffee for his own guy? But then I found the smoking gun. Many classic films get collector's editions. Deluxe releases with behind-the-scenes material, interviews, deleted scenes, director's commentary, you name it. Pulp Fiction is no exception. In 2002, Miramax released an official 2-disc collector's edition. One of its features was the trivia track, a mode that displays pop-up notes during the film with facts and behind-the-scenes info. And in this trivia track, there's a note that changes everything. The Mac-10 found on the kitchen counter in Butch's apartment. It belongs to Marcellus Wallace. That's right, not a fan theory, not Reddit speculation, a confirmed fact in an official release. Which means Vincent didn't leave the gun on the counter. It wasn't even his weapon. Marcellus left it there when he went out for coffee. Now you might ask, okay, but Vincent stayed behind. Why didn't he hide the gun? Well, here's where things get really interesting. Remember what I said about the timeline? After Vincent's death, we see Butch leave the apartment, drive a few blocks, and bump into Marcellus, who's carrying fresh coffee. All that happens within about 5 minutes. If Butch got to this place in about 5 minutes, then it took Marcellus about the same time to get to the place where he bought coffee. Considering that buying coffee most likely took only a few minutes, the following comes out. Marcellus left the apartment just minutes before Butch arrived. And when does Vincent come out of the bathroom? About a minute after Butch walks in. We all know Vincent takes his time in the bathroom. He's not rushing. Put it all together. Marcellus stepped out for coffee just minutes before Butch walked in. Vincent stepped out of the bathroom about a minute after Butch showed up. Vincent tends to spend a long time in the bathroom, so he couldn't have seen Marcellus leave the gun out. He had no idea it was even there. All Vincent knew was, I'm in the bathroom. Boss is here. Boss steps out for coffee. That's it. And that's the cruel twist. Vincent dies not because of his own carelessness, but because his boss made a mistake. So who's more to blame? Vincent, for being in the bathroom when his boss was still in the apartment? Or Marcellus for walking out and leaving a loaded Mac-10 in plain sight? What really doomed Vincent wasn't bad gun etiquette. It was his refusal to listen to the warning signs. Life, especially his kind of life, kept whispering, "You got lucky. Again." When the bullets miss you. When you accidentally shoot someone in the face and then, somehow, you don't even get arrested. When your boss lets you take his wife out and she almost dies on your watch. These are not just incidents. They're signs. You can ignore them. Or, like Jules, you can take a step back and say, maybe it's time to walk away.
Look, you want to play blind man, go walk with the shepherd. But me, my eyes are wide open.
Vincent didn't. He just kept drifting. Until one random accident became the last one. The bathroom breaks, they're just part of the stage dressing. What really killed Vincent was his refusal to change. If you're still here, thank you, really. This is the first video on this channel, and I wasn't sure how it would turn out. But if something in it clicked with you, The ideas, the tone, the way we look at movies, feel free to subscribe. I'll be posting more soon.